Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is Navigating a Perfect Storm. We are in this collective growth space, and there has been a lot of stuff going on outside and a lot of stuff going on inside. And what I have been noticing for myself over the last several months, and I've been seeing it reflected in other people as well, is that we have been going through a breakdown and a breakthrough period. And some of us have broken down sooner than others. Some of us have broken down in different ways. Some of us are doing a slow breakdown where we're kind of coasting towards the gas station on fumes. We're limping there with our flat tire. And it's kind of in that way, I feel, for me, that's how I've been feeling it. But I've also noticed other people where they've just been, hitting the wall. So I think that whatever way we do it is the way that we do it, There's no good or bad. And I know the thing for myself that's making it challenging or confusing is there's a lot of external noise. It's when we're doing this as a collective, there's a lot of us putting out a lot of different vibrations, different emotional vibrations, different thought vibrations that are making it challenging to figure out how do we navigate in this storm. So I'm mixing my metaphors. I went from big ocean metaphor to a car running out of gas metaphor to back to we're in a boat in a big storm metaphor. So actually that's pretty good if you think about it on a collective scale. There's a huge uprising going in the world. And I'm noticing bigger stuff in the storyline, read an article how the indigenous people are noticing the sun is still rising in the same spot, but it's setting in a different spot. And to them, they're noticing that it's a change of the axis of the earth. So that global warming is not entirely created, man-made, or part of the other geological evolution, but that the planet is facing the sun differently. And just think about how that would shift us all off our axis, how gravity would feel different. All those things that I am noticing for myself. And I have an energetic consciousness. This is a hologram description for it. And we all have different explanations, therefore different stories about what's going on. But it's big. It's collectively big. And, the first thing that I think happens to all of us is we look outwards at what is going on, and then we also look outwards for solutions. And the indigenous people were saying, the Inuits were saying that the stars are different to them. And I use that as a description of a spiritual growth space or a consciousness growth space as feeling like your boat was picked up in the middle of the night and put into another hemisphere, and suddenly your stars are different, the tide is different, the currents are different, and sometimes for me there is no wind and there are no currents, and so I have no idea where I am or how to navigate. I know this is what is going on for many of us, is our techniques aren't working anymore. If gravity is changed, how are you connecting? How are you feeling in your body at this time? Vibrationally, things have gotten a lot higher and more rapid. The frequencies are a higher frequency. Some people feel that as diffuse, some people feel that as intensity. But density is not as solid and secure as it used to be. The storylines aren't as slow moving as they used to be. It's bringing up a lot of insecurity for a lot of folks. How do we navigate this? Where do we find these answers? Here's the thing. What is going on from a greater perspective is that consciousness is coming into form more. Our bodies are detecting it as a higher vibration. Might feel a little more agitated, might feel a little more vague or diffuse. Our bodies are experiencing it that way. Something is coming into me more. You as consciousness are coming into form more. So if you shift it to that perspective, I am consciousness, I am coming into physical form. There's actually a sense of excitement when you shift to that experience. This is really fun. I'm in physical form. There's a greater light coming into the world, and you are the greater light coming into the world. It's being more illuminated. So we're seeking greater light, we're seeking more enlightenment. And where the light is, it's not out there in the sun, not worshiping the sun anymore, necessarily. I sure could use some sunshine right now in the middle of a Pacific Northwest winter. But where the real light is, where your navigational is inside you and your inner light. And the huge, enormous shift that's been going on for some years, but it's a big evolutionary collective shift, is that you are that light. You are that greater light. And it's you connecting with the greater you. So sit with that information and tune into how that feels different and how that also changes your view of what's going on around you. When you can see it from the perspective that you are the greater consciousness, suddenly all the other stuff outside is kind of small. It's just part of the storyline. You are the greater consciousness creating all of this down to the smallest detail. And from that perspective, it's actually pretty darn entertaining. Changes your choices and your actions. You might not feel motivated to do anything at all to change the storyline, because it's just all part of the fun of being here. This world is an adventure in density and effort, and it's here to be experienced, it's here to be played with. It's a playground rather than a school. Notice how your life changes when you shift your perspective to that. And if you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. You can also sign up below to get them in your inbox. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I do a weekly radio show and podcast. I do a weekly blog and newsletter. I also hold meetups around the Puget Sound in Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, University Place, and some other places. I do a monthly webinar. And if you want to know more about how to actually navigate your life as your greater consciousness, not only how to get in touch with you within you, but also how to navigate all the stuff that's going on, how to steer through this perfect storm with greater clarity and confidence, go to joan-newcomb.com and look at my coaching programs. So go to joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you in another couple days with another Mystic Minute.